So here's my Yaesu FRG 8800 receiver. Now this appears on a lot of my shorts, a lot of my short form videos. It normally sits at the moment in my living room, in my lounge. And if I just want to sit there in the evening and tune around the bands, this is what I use. Works very well. It's very good, surprisingly good on medium and long wave as well. And a lot of the comments I get on the videos are to the effect that, you know, it's a very nice looking receiver. And it's a pretty receiver, but it works very well. Now, this radio is really from the 1980s. So it's very old technology, you know, it's over 40 years old. You'll be familiar with the front panel. I've shown you the rear panel in one of my videos when I look in depth at this radio, but let's just turn it around again. And I just want to show you something here. So hopefully, there we go. Okay, so here we have a socket, looks like a DIN plug. See, it's labelled cut. Incidentally, the battery cover on this radio is missing. It was when I bought it. It's the only fault with this radio, but I should probably try and make something up to cover that. But I haven't got anything there at the moment. But anyway, back to this socket. This is a CAT socket. CAT stands for Computer Aided Transceiver. Obviously, this isn't a transceiver, but it's a term that Yaesu used. I guess from the 80s onwards, you'll read in their advertisements about CAT, Computer Aided Transceiver. There was an interface box, I believe, that you could buy from Yaesu that plugged into here, and then you plugged that interface into your computer, and you could in some way computer control this radio. Now, of course, back in the 1980s when these radios were marketed, computers were a lot more limited than they are today. You wouldn't really have had a PC. I'm not sure what kind of computer that you'd be trying to control your radio with. It wouldn't be in the PC in the sense that we use them. And I'm not aware of any particularly successful software that there was out there for these radios. But I have come across some software that will run on Windows. That will apparently work with the FRG 8800. I've also managed to get hold of a cable. It's not an interface, but I think it has the necessary circuitry in it. I've got a cable here, okay, which is going to plug into the CAT socket here, and we've got a USB on the other end. So let's try and see if we can hook this elderly FRG 8800 up to a PC and do some computer control with it. Let's go over to the PC. So we have the 8800, FRG 8800 switched on. I'll just show you my desktop on the computer. I haven't looked at Device Manager yet to see whether the USB lead has been recognized in any way, but we'll come to that. See if I can find the software, and there it is, FRG 8800 CAT software. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the screen. But now let's go to Device Manager, and we'll have a look at what we've got on the COM ports. Looks like it is there on COM 4. That looks like the programming lead or the computer control lead, whatever you want to call it. So let's see where we can set this up. Don't know much about this software at the moment, so I need to find out. There's the COM port selection. So let's put it at COM 4. And the speed and the other settings, I don't know. So it does say COM 1 4800. That should be the 8 and 2. Let's go back to Device Manager. 4800. No, 8 and 2. So let's see if we can mirror that. 4800. So we want that at 4800. 8. None, I suppose, is the stop bits. 2. Hopefully that's what we're looking at. 4800, N, 8 and 2. 4800, N, 8 and 2. Let's say that. And cut on. Okay, well that's switched on. That's something. Power on. I did hear the receiver click then. Wide. Okay, it actually did switch modes, but we haven't got any. So I'm switching modes with it. I don't know if you can see on the screen. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit. And yeah, okay. Reaction out of the frequency readout. Ah, here we go. Hang on. So, right. Okay, so I think the time has come. Let's turn up the AF gain. Bit of interference there. And these are obviously amateur bands here, aren't they? So can I put a manual frequency in here? 17.6 Africa FM if they're on. Let's try that. Will that work? Manual set. No, that doesn't work. And it's closed down. Let's just open it back up again. Cut on. Power on. Okay, so we are getting something, and I'm able to tune. How do I alter those steps? I don't know. They're very small steps on the tuning. Presets for memory test. So I could try. See, the knob is turning on its own as well, which is not ideal. Here for 1. Got some presets here. I can see this is happily tuning along on its own, which is not what we want to be doing. We stop it, yeah, okay. We can tune up and down. Ah, there's the steps. Okay, those are the steps. That's a bit worrying. We can't seem to stop that tuning. The manual frequency doesn't look like it's going to work. What if we... What's this? Ah, this is interesting on these presets. Let's do that. Let's try for Radio Europe. And there's your Radio Europe. Got the S meter there. Doesn't seem to be a 5 kc step. That's odd, isn't it? You see we're on 10 there, 10s. Can we step up and down there? Yeah. But again, this tuning knob, it's got a life of its own. And unless we lock it, it tunes around on its own. Okay, so I don't know whether that's a setting that we can do something about. This seems to be the easiest way down here with this preset to do frequency changes. So I can go up there, I can go there. Let's go to 16 meters. Let's see if Africa FM is there. And there they are. Now obviously we can't alter the volume because that's on a port setting on the radio. We can change modes. And interestingly enough, it will switch between wide and narrow, even though that's a physical button on the front of the 8800. We can switch those. We can obviously have another preset frequency here. Can we just jump to that? So if I go, what will happen? Okay. So I'm going to go there. So I see we can switch between those two quickly. That's quite useful. I like that. Looks like there's some presets here. Possibly we can change these to frequencies that we want. I can't make this window any bigger. I can't maximize this window, as you can see. Now, looks like this software dates to what, 11 years ago, 2014. Maybe that it would run better. This is on Windows 11. Maybe it would run better on XP, or at least Windows 10. I've got an old XP laptop. I might try and install the software onto that, because I think, you know, we've got this issue that if I unlock this tuning button, it just scans. I can't see why it's doing that. If I lock it and it changes this preset frequency, so we can go back there. But it does work. So we are computer controlling the FRG 8800, 40 odd year old receiver, and we're able to hook it up. So you sat with me. Well, this was my first, genuinely my first try at this. So this is how it worked out. I'll leave a link to this software in the description of this video. I'm going to go away and read up what I can on this software and see if I can use it a little bit better and give you a better demo of it. Please bear in mind, if you go to the link that I provide for this software, you will, I think you have to register on the website. It's a slightly convoluted process. I eventually managed to do it and download this. It's free to download. Again, it's quite dated. I don't know whether it's still being developed. I don't think so. So these kind of errors we've got in here. And we had that runtime error. Let's have a look at putting a frequency in there. Maybe I don't need a decimal point. What happens if I do that? Okay, maybe that's what it is. So that's in kilohertz. So if I wanted to maybe go to 9.6, will that do that? No. So let's see if I put 6.500. So I'm not quite sure what that, and of course when you notice that if you do something wrong, it just throws you out altogether. And we're now going to need to turn the cat back on. We hit one of these, and then we can go. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. I'll see if I can turn the radio off from here. I think theoretically I can. Maybe not. It is clicking, but it just, yeah, it doesn't want to turn off or on. I can turn the cat control off and the cat control back on. So definitely something we can play around with. I don't know. Let's see if we can. So it tunes the radio okay. Let's do a bit more research and see if we can get it working a bit better. Thank you for watching this initial look at computerizing the Yaesu FRG 8800.